Hey guys, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the new Peppa Twin by Chilli Surfboards. So the Peppa Twin is more of a performance twin fin by Chilli Surfboards. It's been out on the market for a while now, and I was really lucky to get it very early on before it was kind of a model to the public, which means I'm able to surf it for the best part of the last 8 to 10 months across a whole variety of conditions. I've been riding the stock 5.9, which is 5.9 by 20 by 2 9/16, and it's 32.4 litres. So looking over the Peppa Twin, nothing too crazy. Like, it's got some different little things going that we'll go through, but nice little lift through the nose, nothing too crazy, fairly flat out the exit. Flipping it over, Chilli says the front is pretty flat and you can't really feel or see much of a concave going on there. And then it's broken up through a V that comes out the back through the tail. So that V will just allow you to get on that back foot, go rail to rail and pivot and make it really easy and nice to turn. Something that is interesting about the Peppa Twin that does make it different, it has a flat deck. So if you're unfamiliar with a flat deck, what it does, instead of the volume or the thickness dropping away to the rail just gradually, it actually holds its thickness probably out to that last inch and a half, and the rail drops down into a nice kind of medium rail. What that does allows you to compact a whole bunch of volume in a smaller area, so it makes it floaty and thick and really easy to surf without giving you too much of like a bulky and thick rail. The flat deck actually feels quite nice underfoot, and then again coming away to that mid rail, which kind of chimes through the board, is really nice through the water and really easy to surf. I've been lucky enough to have the Peppa Twin, like I said, for a while now, best part of a year, surfed across a whole variety of conditions. And it definitely sits at the kind of higher end, more performance end of the twin fin kind of market. I think if you're looking at the Peppa Twin, you're probably someone who's probably looking at something like the Twinsman by Album or like the Lane Splitter by Christensen. I think it definitely sits in that realm of twin fins that have more performance shortboard capabilities, but still quite forgiving through its volume distribution and still quite easy to surf. Something I found really interesting about the Peppa Twin. There's a lot of talk about twin fins and people surfing them on their backhand. And I do think sometimes I think surfing, if you've grown up surfing thrusters, you're used to surfing thrusters, sometimes twin fins can feel a bit different on your backhand through turns and that. But similar to those other boards I mentioned, the Peppa Twin on your backhand is awesome. It's got that kind of really performance-y shortboard feel, but still that fun flow and freedom, that lack of drag that you get from a twin fin. Saying that, it is a performance kind of twin fin, I think it also still can cater for someone who's like a beginner to intermediate. And I think the key there is the sizing and the volume of the Peppa Twin you get. So this is 32.4 litres. My shortboards sit around the 32 litre mark. So this is pretty smack on close to what my performance shortboard volume would be. I think if someone is an intermediate to an advanced surfer, I'd say stick to your kind of shortboard volumes or not too far north of there, because you're going to get that really performance feel. You know, you're someone who can paddle, you've got a lot of surf experience. You don't need something to make surfing really easy for you. And the board will be very capable. If you're someone that's probably more that intermediate to beginner down the bottom end, going south of the spectrum, I'd size up the Peppa Twin. It does have the performance capabilities through, this nice rail, all that sort of stuff that I spoke about, but having that volume through the deck and a little bit added volume through the board, it's going to be really easy to paddle, it's going to be really stable, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I think also the Peppa Twin has the ability for someone who's a beginner to intermediate to probably push their surfing and definitely their twin fin surfing to that next level. Just that stability of the flat deck, the volume through the board, but that nice gentle rail through the water will let you kind of move from beginner intermediate, hopefully to intermediate to advanced, if that's what you're after. In the Peppa Twin, I checked out a whole variety of fins. We're lucky enough to get this one with FCS, and thanks to FCS for sending us out some grips and fins to check out with the board. Checked out, always go to the MR. The MR is kind of like my stable, sort of a staple fin for a lot of twin fins. And then if you ride futures, that would be the T1, very, very similar template. Also checked out the Power Twins, which is a very upright and large fin. But what I landed on was the Christensen. Early on surfing the Peppa Twin, I definitely felt it had more of a performance shortboardy kind of feel, and it made me start thinking about boards I'd ridden that were very similar in the past, which I spoke about earlier, which is like the Album Twinsman and the Christensen Lane Splitter. And one thing I loved about the Christensen Lane Splitter was the Christensen Upright Twin Fin. So this is the Christensen Upright Twin Fin by FCS, and this felt kind of awesome. With those MRs, Power Twins, they felt a bit kind of swirly. I don't know how to explain it, but they didn't feel like they kind of had the drive and the grip. They'd pivot really well and do like a top turn, but they didn't have that flow that you sometimes want from a twin fin. And I felt the Christensen kind of had the best of both worlds. Funnily enough, when I first got these fins, like a couple of years ago for the Lane Splitter review, I was like, hey guys, are these the keels or are these the uprights? Because if you look at the template, they kind of almost look like a keel fin, a bit of a blend in between, probably similar to like the Brit Merrick twins. But yeah, these are definitely uprights. And in this board, they felt like they had the best of, you know, that pivot and that release you want from a twin fin, but also that nice flow and kind of drive you want from a twin fin. So if you get a chance, check out the Peppa Twin, check out the Christensen Twins. I felt they kind of did everything I wanted to from this board and definitely felt like they brought the best out of the board. Overall, I absolutely love the Peppa Twin. It was epic to get on another really high performance twin fin. Coming back from surfing some really kind of forgiving and you know, easy to surfboards, it's good to start moving into a realm of kind of pushing the surfing and the surfboards I ride into more of as much of a performance area as I can. And yeah, the Peppa Twin definitely did that. It was actually really cool. Even though we put the review out quite some time ago, we got the Chilli Popper, and I'll put a link to that review in here, and the Peppa Twin at the same time. And that Popper, similar characteristics, flat deck, holds a lot of volume, but definitely love that really small stuff, and for a and also be really good for a very, very beginner to intermediate surfer. This was another offering I had that kind of sat just above it. A little bit more performance, definitely has a lot to offer for the advanced surfer. And it was awesome to check out both boards. So I'll put a link to the Popper review. But yeah, the Peppa Twin, I think for someone who's beginning to intermediate, size the board up, add a bit of volume, add a bit of length. If you're an intermediate to an advanced surfer, I'm stoked you're watching this review. But if you are, you know, go to your shortboard volumes and maybe just a tiny bit of north for a bit of paddle power, but you definitely want to feel the performance characteristics of the board. You don't want the rail too thick, you don't want too much bulk under you, and this board can paddle and surf really, really well. And even in some like really good waves, the board's not going to let you down. Look, overall, love the Peppa Twin. Thanks so much to Chilli Surfboards for the opportunity to check this out, and hopefully you get a chance to check one out too. Thanks so much for watching.